Okay, so let's pretend just for a second that Fortnite was a stock in the stock market. It burst onto the scene with extreme popularity, and then sometime around 2018 and 19, it hit its peak. Ever since then, it's been on what I would consider to be a slow but steady downward trajectory. With stocks, almost nothing lasts forever in either the up or down direction. Over time, almost every single major stock has not only recovered, but even exceeded what was previously deemed to be the limit. Not many games survive as long as Fortnite, so should we be expecting a second peak of this game at some point? One major Fortnite OG thinks it'll be sooner than you think. Earlier today, Fortnite went ahead and officially patched the first-person glitch that had been in the game for quite some time. I believe it was 5 days. I made a couple videos on it. I mean, that was a real glitch that you could do that would allow you to play in first person. No, not all guns worked. No, not everything was perfect. Yes, there were tons of issues between guns not working. You couldn't really sprint. Vision while walking was an issue. It was just overall a big mess, but in that mess, there were a few diamonds in the rough, which showed just how amazing this feature is going to be upon full release. But around 5 days ago, in the midst of this glitch being discovered, I guess it inspired Mist Jawa YT, who went ahead and produced this clip that I've seen going super viral on Twitter, especially over the weekend. In the clip, you can see he is almost perfectly recreated two iconic Call of Duty maps that any OG gamer from back in the day is gonna know. Of course, you've got the iconic Shipment, and you've got the maybe even more iconic Rust. I mean, it went on back in the day in Rust when you had some beef, interventions, quick scopes, throwing knives, you already know. The crazy thing about this is, I mean, if I wasn't paying attention, if I wasn't looking super close, you might convince me that this was actually Call of Duty. The maps are almost perfectly recreated, like I said. The gameplay actually looks fun, but again, with the way that glitch was working, you can't really do much with it. But imagine when they actually push out this entire first-person mode with functionalities that will make playing things like that just a reality. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of other ideas that people can make in creative and just get really funky with it that would have some really cool outcomes. But you would gotta figure that with it actually being glitched into the game accidentally, with people actually being able to use it in some capacity, it's gotta be near completion, right? Here though is where it gets crazy. So I'm sure you guys from back in the day know Myth. Myth is one of the true Fortnite OGs from our time. Myth quote tweeted the trending tweet and said, "Get ready for Fortnite's second peak. Called this 2 years ago. It's gonna start speeding up this next year or so." That's a pretty bold claim, but it's one that I myself can realistically see why something like this may happen. I just gave you the stock example. I mean, I know it's a video game versus a real stock, and yeah, it's not exactly the same thing, but just overall things that last as long as Fortnite, you know, things are not just going to keep going one way the whole time. That's not how it works. However, for something like that to happen, you need something that can truly revolutionize the game again, and you might be looking at it. Instead of spending $60 for the new Call of Duty game each year, you can just load up Fortnite and play creative games with the maps and have a very similar feel. And while that won't be the true replacement for Call of Duty fans, it's really fun to do stuff like that in this game. I should have tried this before the glitch got patched, but I would imagine building in first-person mode would be unbelievably almost impossible. I mean, it might be almost impossible for real. So not really sure how that would or wouldn't work. We're only scratching the surface of the possibilities here with this first-person mode, but I truly think that it would attract a lot of people from the first-person genre who otherwise may have given up on Fortnite or never played it in the first place. Only thing is though, when they release this, it needs to be something that's kind of like Zero Build, where it's completely voluntary, and if you want to play this way, you go into it with everyone else doing the same. Hey, be sure to let me know your thoughts on this. As somebody who has played Fortnite from almost the very beginning, I would love to see a second peak, and statistically, if you're looking at it from a pure probability standpoint, the people at Epic Games are uber talented, obviously, and who knows, we could very easily be right up before the next run-up on the second peak, and maybe we get even higher this time.